Hi, my name is Melissa King, and I'm so glad that you guys are checking me out today. Um, I wanted to come on and tell you a little bit about My Econ, which is a home-based business that teaches you personal financial success. As you can see from my little thing back here, it says the Personal Financial Success Company, and that is exactly what it is. My Econ is short for My Economy, meaning my economy. When you start your business, it will be your economy. But for all intents and purposes today, we're going to talk about my economy and how I got started with my econ. Have you ever been at a point in your life where you feel like you are not catching any breaks? That, you know, nothing is coming your way that's giving you a break from the day to day. This is how I felt about my financial life. I was a W4 or W2 employee that was making right at six figures. I did not own my home. I was a divorced mother of one child. That child was beyond the age of daycare, so there was no child care um, deduction that I could claim. I didn't have home deductions that I could claim. So I was at a point where my only solution to not owe Uncle Sam every month was to have them take additional funds out of my check. And my hopes would be that by allowing them to take an additional $50 per paycheck, that by the end of the year, when it was time to file taxes, instead of having a tax bill where I owe upward $2,000, to be able to just break even. I was at a point where I didn't even care that I didn't get a refund. I just wanted to break even. So as I said, it was like I was at a point where there were no more financial breaks for me as far as deductions went when it came to income taxes. So I'm at this point and I'm trying to figure out, is there anything I can do short of getting another job? Which, if you think about it, if I'm already at a point where I'm in a higher tax bracket because of the full-time job I have, getting another job is just going to push me up even more and give me a higher tax bill. So I needed a solution that was going to help me without me putting me in a position where I would be um, having more tax penalties because of what I was making. So I started following a friend. He's actually my business associate and my mentor, Tony Clopton, that I do YouTube videos with twice a week, where we talk about advantages of home-based business ownership. I saw him on one of the social websites, Facebook to be exact, and he was talking about his home-based business. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I, what home-based business would I even start? I had no clue how this would be able to help me, considering I didn't have an idea for a home-based business in the first place. So, after seeing his post, Facebook doing what it does, which is putting things in your face and making you ask questions. So I finally broke down and I reached out to Tony and I asked him, to explain to me in so many words how this business opportunity that he was doing was going to be able to help me. And he went on to tell me that, as a W-2 employee, you are so limited on deductions. And of course, I knew that already because that's what I was going through. But what I did not know that being a home-based business owner was going to open the door to so many more new deductions of things that I was doing anyway, like driving my car or going out to eat, using my cell phone. All of these things that I do and pay for anyway. He explained to me if I had a home-based business, that a lot of these expenses would become deductions or write-offs, meaning they would lower my taxable income. Now, if I'm speaking German or French to you now, and when I start saying deductions and write-offs, you're like hearing wah wah wah. You are where I was when Tony first told me about this. So, my background is in the medical arena. I was not a financial guru. I knew nothing about how taxes work, how the IRS works, none of that. All of this was new to me. This was 6 years ago. 6 years ago, on November 17th, to be exact. So, at that point, after he spoke to me and explained to me what this business could do for me, this is when I made the decision that I, on November 17th, 2015, am about to become a home-based business owner. And I have been one ever since. No regrets, haven't looked back, no woulda, coulda, shoulda. What I purchased that day for a very low startup cost, which was even, the cost now is even lower, because you can start your own business now with my company for less than $40. Now, when I started, it was $179, but it was well worth it. It was a one-time payment of $179, and with that payment, I got an income shifting membership, which was sort of like the blueprint or the startup for me to operate this business. And I know what you guys are thinking, because I was thinking the same thing. What exactly is your business? You just said you didn't even know what business you want to start. Well, it turns out that what I'm doing right now and what Tony and myself do twice a week, every week on YouTube, by introducing my econ to people and talking to them about the benefits of having a home-based business and opening the door for them to join our team, that is my business. That is how I earn my tax deductions, my business income just from doing this. And I'm like, okay, so I can claim a home-based business just from running my mouth, because basically that is all I do. And that's exactly what it was. Now, with that income shifting membership that I purchased that day came a website, my own personal website. Once we got on the phone that night, I had a website called melissaking.myecon.net. I've had that website for 6 years. I have my own back office, all of the tools I need to run a successful business. And I think the cost now is $39.95. But it's been it was $34.95 a month back then, which is a deduction. I can deduct the cost of that $34.95 a month to operate my business. With that income shifting membership came 5 items. First was instructions on how to correct my W-4. That is what I use to calculate how much money should be taken out of my check for the IRS on a monthly basis, on a paycheck by paycheck basis. So that came with the membership. Second thing was the debt elimination calculator. This was like a layout on how I could reduce my bills. I plugged in my personal information, I plugged in my numbers, my debt. It gave me a layout and a timeline on when I could wipe these things out. I was able to wipe out my debt in approximately 6 months based on this system. Third thing, Cash Flow Manager. Cash Flow Manager is a software that helps you to run an ongoing tracking system of your expenses, your income, anything you need to operate your business that needs to be provided to the IRS when you file your income tax. If you complete this document honestly and truthfully, you will be audit proof, because you are putting everything in this cash flow manager that you need to be IRS correct as far as tracking. Fourth thing, my credit system. Credit is king. If you do not have good credit, it can stifle where you go as far as your dreams. I say all the time, those 3 numbers can either be detrimental or instrumental in you reaching your full potential. I mean, at some point, even though, a lot of us like to stick to cash transactions, credit is going to come up at some point. And having no credit can be as bad as having bad credit. The My Credit System teaches you the 5 things that make up your credit score. So it's very vital that you understand that so that you can maintain a high score. I started off with a score in the low 700s. As of earlier this year, my credit score is at 837. The highest it can go is 850. So that lets you know how much I've learned as far as maintaining, because maintaining a high credit score is just as hard as achieving a high credit score. But our system teaches you how to do that. The last thing that I received with my startup was investment education. My econ teaches that there are 2 objectives: to pay for your current lifestyle and your future lifestyle. Your future lifestyle would be your retirement. It is a balancing act when you're able to pay your current bills while steadily building your retirement income. So you want this to be going on at the same time. If you do not speak the investment jargon, it can be extremely confusing. It was very confusing to me. Some of it I'm still not 100% on, but I have the tools to learn, and I now make more informed decisions on how I choose my investments, even with my work 401k. I never understood the statements that they were sent out, which companies I was being, my investments were being put towards. I didn't understand any of that, whether I was doing medium risk, high risk. Investment education is key for making sure that at some point in the future you can retire and still be able to maintain your lifestyle without working. So it's extremely important. So these are the things that came, or the items that came with my econ startup kit, or my home-based business toolbox, if you would. And I have been practicing these things for the last 6 years, and it has brought me a lot of financial success, a lot of financial education, and some financial security. So if this is something that you think you need in your life, which I feel like every working American should have multiple streams of income, and a home-based business is the best way to get a multiple stream of income that's going to provide you with deductions and help you keep more of your money in your pocket. So if this is something you'd like to know about, reach out to me. I'm Melissa King, my econ on Facebook, Melissa King 7474 on Instagram, and Melissa King, no, I did that backwards. I'm Melissa King, my econ on YouTube, and Melissa King on Facebook. So reach out to me, and I would love to share this information with you. Thanks for listening.